One of my mentors recently wrote about an important topic on his blog. You can read it by clicking the link in the description under this video, and I would love you to. He had the courage to address how we so easily turn people into issues, where we dehumanize people by the comments we make against them because their belief system doesn't align with ours. I passionately believe that this is one of, if not the most important topics that needs to be addressed at the table more often. I believe that this topic is the dark side of tribalism. Tribes, however, are inevitable, but when being a part of a tribe leads to the belief that it is us versus them, it has the potential of leading to all kinds of hateful thoughts and eventually, inevitably, to actions. This, by the way, is how war and terrorism starts. One of my fondest memories of this dangerous reality goes all the way back to elementary school. Back to the playgrounds that we used to play on as children. Do you remember when we were told by our peers, or perhaps even our siblings and parents, to hit back when we get hit? Now, as we have grown up, this primal idea hasn't grown out of us. Instead, it morphs into an even deadlier version. It can easily go something like this. You bombed me, so now I have to bomb you. Or on a lighter note, you can be expressing your opinion in comment land, on a blog, video blog like this one or whatever, and think to yourself, he tore me down, so now I have to respond in kind and show him or her that they're wrong. Along with the ensuing back and forth exchange of trying to prove each other wrong, things will almost always turn into calling each other names and doing things you might even regret later. Again, this is how wars start and terrorist activity starts. And even more dangerous is the fact that we have been so preconditioned by society to act in this way that we don't even think twice. It happens with almost natural precision. And I say almost natural. Keep that in mind. My point is that this attitude is a vicious cycle. And side note, acting violently online in comment land is not lighter, nor better than throwing bombs. It hurts like hell. I once was a victim of this when I used to use social networking and discuss cool things about theology that I was learning in school. And people from church came at me with fire, and it wounded me. But during that season of my life, I ended up continuing the vicious cycle and responded in kind. I'm not proud of that looking back now. I'm not proud of having continued the cycle, but it is what it is. Like I said before, it happens with almost natural precision. Since then, I became more aware of the consequences of my thoughts and actions, and how I continue the cycle of violence. Another side note, by continuing the cycle of violence, you are also creating more hurt and pain for yourself. We just don't realize this at the time because we have to get that person back. During this ensuing season of evolving towards my greatest version, I realized the truth of a powerful ancient teaching to turn the other cheek. During the Roman Empire, soldiers could make a point of who was in charge by just smacking anybody that they wanted. They can stop somebody in the middle of the street. And as a subject within the empire, you had to submit and be on your way. Or if you tried to fight back, you would face greater consequences, like going to jail for insubordination, or even worse, maybe death. The teacher who taught this principle told his followers to first have courage and submit to the punishment. Then, after the initial smackdown, don't fight back, rather go ahead and offer the other cheek, so the soldier backhands you. Back then, being smacked by a backhand was one of the worst insults of someone's character. It was almost like saying, you're not human. Almost kind of like a backhanded compliment nowadays. Maybe in comment land, on Facebook, on Twitter, on blogs. This would force a soldier into showing everyone their own morally corrupt character. that they were a part of a morally corrupt empire. And this principle of turning the other cheek is revolutionary because it effectively ends the cycle. Even if the other person hits back, it exposes that that person is corrupt, that their character is bad. And eventually, if not immediately, their reputation will suffer because nobody really wants to directly be complicit with that kind of hatred and violence. This revolutionary idea even ends any further pain you would have experienced had you hit back. From my experience, when I don't feel the fire after personal attack, there are no further attacks like we would think there would be. You just lay down. I haven't come across a psychopath or a sociopath yet, and I hope I never do, and I hope none of you do. But practicing this discipline is not easy, though. It takes work, effort, it takes great courage to be the one who was hit and to resolve not to hit back. It actually takes a lot more strength than hitting back. It takes time and it takes a lot of practice. You're going to fail sometimes. You're going to succumb to the cycle. Experiencing failure is just like riding a bike and falling off the bike. The best thing to do is get right back onto the bike and keep riding. Eventually, you're going to develop the keen self-awareness to recognize when an us versus them situation has revealed itself to you. And you'll naturally turn the other cheek. This is something that is natural to us as divine humans. It is natural to not want to hit back. Could you imagine what our world would be like if everyone got this concept and then learned how to apply it to their lives? No more war, right? It can. And it would be even more beautiful of a world. It's absolutely divine. And I believe with my whole heart that it is possible. I'm living it right now, and it takes just one person at a time. Thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to your thoughts and your questions in comment land. Keep it respectful. See you there.